What your companions really think about you. Astarion. He thinks that you are a walking disaster kink, wrapped in cheap armor and bad decisions. He's not traveling with you because he likes you, he's here for the front row seat to your inevitable downfall. You flirt like you've never spoken to another human being, and he can tell. Every time you make a moral decision, he rolls his eyes so hard that it resets his trauma. You let him bite you and you called it bonding, but that wasn't intimacy, that was food delivery. He's convinced that your brain is powered by wine, spite, and vague horniness. He's not actually helping you, he's studying you like a particularly stupid animal. And yet, somehow, you're still the most stable individual in the group, and he finds that deeply unsettling. Shadowheart. You tried to be nice to her once, and now she's emotionally tethered to you like a goth barnacle. She doesn't trust you, but she keeps hoping that you'll do something redeemable before bedtime. You gave her a flower, and it made her seriously consider making you into a statue. The way that you switch between being a holy savior and unhinged war criminal gives her whiplash. She doesn't actually think that you're a hero, she thinks that you are spite manifest. You are her most infuriating weakness, and also her emergency backup trauma container. She would die for you, but only if you died first. You know, just so she can be dramatic about it. Gale. He sees you as a volatile cocktail of charm, delusion, and what does this button do? Every time you touch something magical, he mentally prepares a eulogy. He calls you curious, but really what he means is feral goblin with no impulse control. You once gave Gale an artifact without asking any questions. He's still recovering. He thinks that you're emotionally stunted, morally unpredictable, and too hot to leave unsupervised. You give him anxiety, he pretends it's admiration. Your romantic interest in him only confirms to him that you're broken and desperate. If you by any chance ascend to godhood, he will still be there in the background reminding you not to eat the crown. Karlach. You are an absolute mess, and she would fistfight a god to keep you that way. You don't know what you're doing, and she loves that about you. Every time you panic and make a bad decision, she gets even more emotionally attached. She calls you badass, but what she really means is a dumbass with a heart. She thinks you have main character syndrome and puppy energy, and so her love for you is terminal. She would jump on a grenade for you, and you'd probably be the one who threw it at her on accident. You are not her soulmate. You are her walking side quest. And if anybody ever hurt you, she'd burn down the Forgotten Realms altogether and laugh while doing it. Lae'zel. She respects your power and hates everything else about you. You tried to negotiate with a goblin once. She still hasn't forgiven you. She's convinced that your brain is mush, your spine weak, and your libido is actively sabotaging the mission. She doesn't like you. She tolerates you the same way you tolerate a bad smell in a small tent. You are emotional turbulence in a clown suit. She's made peace with the fact that if Vlaakith doesn't kill her, traveling with you will. You're the reason that she's developing stress wrinkles. However, she will fight for you, she will bleed for you, but if you happen to cry in front of her, she will drop kick your soul right into the astral sea. Will. Every time you make a deal, he checks for devil horns. Just to be sure, he thinks you have potential, but only if supervised by 6 paladins and a leash. He believes in your redemption arc. You haven't even started one. He thinks that your definition of doing the right thing depends on who's hot. He's the dad friend. You're the stray raccoon that won't stop stealing gold. Every time you say, oops, he starts mentally preparing your funeral. You've taught him patience, and he hates it. If you ever fall, he'll avenge you, but not before saying I told you so, like 10 times. Halsin. He thinks that you're a wild animal that someone accidentally gave magic powers to. You start fights like it's foreplay and you end them with trauma bonding. He once tried to talk to you about balance, and you, naturally, responded with arson. You remind him of a lightning-struck oak, charred, unstable, and somehow still standing. To Halsin, you are proof that nature has a sense of humor and no shame. Minthara. She respects your power, but hates your softness. You let one child live and she hasn't trusted you since. You flirt like you're begging to be destroyed. She's considering it. You showed empathy once and she almost walked into the sea. She doesn't think that you're weak, she thinks that you're wasting your cruelty. She doesn't follow leaders, she hunts them for sport. And you're just one bad decision away from being the blood on her blade. Jaheira, she's seen dozens like you. Most of them didn't make it past Act 1. You try too hard, think too little, feel too much. She respects your heart, but not your brain. Every time you say, "I've got a plan," she adds a page to your obituary. She's not here to babysit another chosen idiot, but here she is. Minsk. He thinks that you're a legendary hero, even if you set a village on fire for trying to cook eggs. Boo believes in you, which means that you're stuck with unconditional rodent-based support. Every crime you commit is rewritten as a noble act in his head. You once lied to a priest, and he called it tactical diplomacy. He doesn't really understand half of your decisions, but assumes that they were blessed by fate. You could summon Satan, the devil himself, and he would still fist bump you afterward. Minsk would die for you, and somehow that's your fault. Finally, we got the Emperor. I know he's not a companion, but if I don't include him, some of you will start screeching at me. You are an unstable meat puppet with too much power and no impulse control. He speaks to you like a tired professor forced to grade a sentient gremlin. You are not his ally. You are his mistake with good bone structure. You think that you're in control. He thinks that you're amusing. He tolerates you like a sculptor tolerates a slab of wet clay that keeps screaming. He wanted a partner. He got a clown in lipstick. You are the chaos that he needed, just not the one he asked for.